is part 2, paradigm shift. One of the main things that we want people to understand is that this is not a haphazard movement. When we talk about planning and staffing and strategic management and all those type of things, this is real. But this is not happen in happenstance, and we did not confront people all along the way because we were afraid of them or anything else. The reason we did it is this, if you remember, strategic retreat. We always talked about what we was doing. We had to draw these people in deep. If we would have confronted them or stopped them, we wouldn't have what we have. If we would have put people in check, we wouldn't have nothing to show for nothing. We would just put them in check. But we had to have them exercise maximum ignorance and total cooperation with the United States government, total cooperation with the Oakland Police Department. We had to have the whole Iranian establishment inside the United States and back in Iran go through all of these steps. And now, who's in deep doo-doo? Is it us or them? All the foreign ministry, they're the ones in deep doo-doo. We told them what to do. This sounds arrogant. We told them what to do because we know what we're talking about. That's all. It ain't, they know it. We just told them. But they looked at it like this. We cannot work with the United States government unless we do this, that, and other. They make demands of them, and they demand it. And the way they would treat me in Iran was not reflective of the good leadership in Iran. It was part of their party. And hopefully this last bit of fitna will teach them the lesson we've been telling them all along. You don't have a luxury party politics. That's why Imam threw parties out years ago. And all his friends, like was head of the combatant ulama and all of that, says no parties. Because parties is a fitna, and it's like Democrats and Republicans, just Democrats and Republicans. Do they think about what's good for America and the people first? No, for the party. It's just a dumb party, and all parties are like that. We're not like that, nor are we going to be what's better for As-Sabiqun. No, it's what's better for Islam. What's best for the Muslims, what's best for humanity, what's best for the earth itself. Now, in order to get to that point, we had to engineer. This is something that's hard for people to understand, because I picked up from my relatives and people kind of close that the government tells them, we're managing all of it. It is your cooperation with us that allows us to make sure he don't get in too much trouble, because if he do, if we can't control him, so the deep state is going to kill him. That's what they tell my dumb relatives. And they believe it. They believe it because they believe it. They believe in the white man. The white man is always controlling. They never took a fight. None of my relatives never took a fight. Hell, they don't know. That's what they know. It's not. They're not bad. They're all right. They feel, well, we can help poor dad or my uncle or my nephew, whoever he is, and still get a little change, a little eating money too. And be on the good side of the white man, because the white man is going to win. Finally, my relatives, the last couple of times, I look at them and say, I have to tell them, the white man is not running this. I am. You gotta get that crap out of your mind. Now, that's not easy for them. Paradigm shift, self-esteem, like the article was talking about. Paradigm shift is when the whole measurement stick changes from what was real before, the white man always won. It's not the case now. If it was military, the white man has not won. When has he won? He got a pretty bad record. Iraq, he went over there and talked with everything going for him. And he got his hat brought to him. Afghanistan, he's now 17 years in Afghanistan. They just lost a guy yesterday. Who's coming back to power? The Taliban? There's the Taliban working with Iran, and Iran has got Taliban leaders and families. There's all kind of crap. Maybe not all of it's true, but some of it is true. Right around certain areas, stuff be changing. And over there, your friend today is your sworn enemy tomorrow. And your sworn enemy yesterday is your best. Oh, it's you. And they don't change steps or nothing. This is the normal way. Oh.
And you the foreigner. You the foreigner invading their land, causing a lot of trouble. So I mean, how much cooperation do you think you're gonna get for
Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. The United States have won not yet. They have won. Inside the United States, well, we give y'all a tax break. Yeah, now the debt went up another $1 trillion. The tax money went to, they transferred. They're doing exactly, perfectly what causes rebellion and revolution. When the rich get so rich, there's a big imbalance, there's no middle class, and all the wealth is transferred to the rich. This is what the white man is saying on the radio.
That's what they all talk about.
Yeah.
Just the oligarchs. That's what they talk about.
They get all of, okay, pretty simple. You know, the 99% and the 1%. And this fool puts a tax cut that don't nobody, me and you don't get nothing. All the big white folks get all that money, and all we get is another $1 trillion debt in less than a year.
And then he cut the federal workers 2% raise.
Cut the federal workers.
Talking about he couldn't afford. That's gonna keep the economy unbalanced. You can't keep putting out that kind of money. You need to get a raise on your merit, not just because you need to keep up with inflation and like
See, the warmongers, though, the deep state, they keep wars going. And they get all that money. You can't imagine. They don't make exact 10 times that money. They make 100, 1,000 times that money. It's just unbelievable. So they make sure the CIA works for them. What do the CIA do? Start trouble all over the world. Keep wars going so the arms manufacturers can make money. And they keep the people weak. See, they gotta keep Brazil weak. Because if they, you know, the way they feel, if you're healthy and strong, we can't tell you what to do.
you're a threat.
You're a threat. They got to keep the world weak. This is the West's belief. Keep everybody poor, keep them barefoot and pregnant, or something like you should say about women. Keep them like that. And they're always needy. If they get healthy, they're not hungry, they're going to feel good about themselves. Then they have to start wanting self-determination. Okay, so our job in this, it's been clear for decades. Only the details of day-to-day stuff change. Like the details right now is we're on the not defensive, that we're making moves. And there's nothing they can do about it because they already did everything they could do, right? That's why we telegraphed and told them what we're going to do years ago, so they could throw everything at us. That's what they did. Why? Because the pattern shows they're going to throw everything at you, so you just let them throw everything at you. Right? You just stay out there, you just moving around, backing up on your bicycle side to side. You're not getting tired. And guess what? They're throwing at you publicly. Everybody's seeing it. Can you imagine? One crew, As-Sabiqun. This ain't happened in history. This is not happening in history. Not that I'm reading it and trying to find it out. And everybody that should be a part of it runs away. Again, targeted, cared. Won't even mention. Can you imagine how hypocritical that is? We down there 4 or 5 times. Hey man, just can you wave at us out the window? Can you imagine? And they put this thing out, Civil Rights 2018. Fine. They destroyed themselves. In Oakland, not one E in Oakland. Big bad Oakland. They moved everything from East Oakland to North Oakland. From the blacks to the Arabs and Sufis and anybody else. So, we're going to tighten East Oakland back up. There's nothing they can do about it. Absolutely nothing. So the people ought to be aware. If they have, you see some clowns running around, you better find out what they're saying. You have a responsibility to find out who's telling the truth. So you got some stuff now, you investigate. You go on their sites and you go to all the Muslims and you investigate your behind and find out who's telling the truth. Do some research. That's your responsibility. The Hadith says that. It's very clear. When the Prophet ﷺ was sending Ali radiallahu anhu to Yemen, there's a judge, he said, "Oh Rasulullah, I'm a young man, I don't have no experience in judgment." He said, "Well, when you go down there, you just say, never make a judgment till you hear both sides." So you hear my side, the grand jury side. I done told you about the government, I done showed you pictures, I done showed you statements. Now, you go and you listen to them. See what these clowns said. They're clowns, vicious, bootlicking, lapdog clowns. They're like unbelievable. You can't be mad at them. But they said Imam Musa got everybody killed in the old days. All the brothers killed, I think. All the what brothers? Seems like all the brothers are always emailing me. And they like me. We got a confession. Me confessing. Of course I confess. I confess to the 1937 dirigible that exploded in Jersey. 1937, you ever read about that? The Nazi, the German dirigible, the big dirigible. Oh, 1937. I did that. Of course I did it. The Titanic, they thought it had hit an iceberg. It was me. I put voodoo on them white folks. And they thought they was looking at something. It wasn't even there. I mean, it was sitting right in front of them, but they couldn't see it. That means I mushed up their brain.
Although you were born in 1945.
I told them, everybody know I'm a time traveler. If white folks time travel, I tell them I did that. And the brothers, and I told them, I said, yeah, some of the things they just doctored up. You know what I mean? I didn't listen to it. And I'll tell you why. Even every now and then, if I want to get focused, I'll look at a little something they say. But the only one I wanted to see was the one when they come rushing into the Masjid. And we've talked about the Africanization of the Islamic movement in North America. And here, all of them Arabs, led by what I call a Zionist-inspired Negro. Right? That was wonderful. That was like symphony, a fitna. That's wonderful. That's what I'm telling people, that we're the last. That's what I'm telling them. We the last holdouts, the last Negroes that run our own business. And the only ones. That's what our job was. So we'll try to move, let's see. So there was a foreign ministry mistake with the Iranians. And Hashim and Curry crew. Independence, longevity, endurance. This is a wonderful thing. We have it, and it is good, it feels good, and it's just a wonderful thing. Again, what we did in the past in Oakland, and they have to study, that during those periods, there has been no, I'm going to say it again, Martin Luther King, 1968, went to Chicago to establish an economic enterprise zone. Anybody remember that? Okay. Same time we did it, that's the same time we initiated that move in Oakland. We did it. He went there to do it. We did it. What's the proof of it? The number of businesses was open, the amount of people who bought their own homes, the amount of people who had their own cars, the amount of people who had their own business, the amount of times money circulated in the community before it went out. And we were in our early 20s when we did it. When it's all over, when we're leaving the country in exile, I'm 25 or 26, I went to exile. But it's all over, the show is all over. I'm a senior citizen of 26 years old. And we did that. That's a historical fact. And it happened in Oakland. It's bigger than the Panther Party, it's bigger than all of that. And there's people still alive that know it. And if you mention to anybody that period, they'll remember, yeah, man, that was that money, Everybody else got money for themselves, but nobody spread the money around.
Imam Musa.
Yes.
What was it that, when you look at that period, all the brothers and sisters were around 20, in their early 20s, you know, making an effort such as that, and I mean just that, you know, they were young. What was it?
No, that was a period. That's what, let's see, the government watches when they pop up with manners because they smell letters. We talked a couple times about collective consciousness. Okay, there's a collective consciousness growing in Islam right now. Okay, they can't do nothing about it. At that time, it was a gaseous environment. If you light a match in the environment, whoof, it catches on fire. Malcolm X could come to town and give one lecture and light the whole town up. You can come to town now and talk, you can give the baddest lecture and everybody go right on home, turn on the radio or the TV, right? It was the time, that was that period. Okay, now, and the people were young.
Right.
Okay, and most of the people was from the South, was born in the South, or their parents, everybody was, the Northerners, you know, the ones in the South, civil rights marches, movers, Dr. King, them. People down there that was our exact same age was moving towards civil rights and integration. That was a Southern mentality. That's all they could do. It's perfect for the South. Those of us that moved to the North, we've been there now 10 to 15 years, and we're not, we grew up in the, we know the Southern tradition, we eat Southern food, talk Southern, everything is Southern, except we've been integrated into a Northern and a Western mentality. The stuff that they took in the South, like, you look at every so-called riot, what was it about? Police brutality, the watch riot, all of it, police beating somebody up, or killing somebody. They do it in the South, it ain't no big deal. But for us, hey man, it wasn't our parents. Our parents didn't understand nothing. What is wrong with y'all? We're out here in California. Do you know how good we got it? It's being repeated again right now. Not only with blacks, Mexicans, Salvadorians, and everybody. The parents are begging to get here. They just happen to be here. What about their kids? 18, 19, born here. They ain't putting up with that. What you talking about? Glad to be here. F y'all. They'll shoot you quick as anybody, right? They're just like we were. The United States is producing its own. That's why I say it's finished. Finished, finished, finished. He does exactly, he's messing with niggas, Mexicans, Chinamans, and everything, right? Right now. Every so-called immigrant. And immigrants build a country. They always have. In a few more years, it'd be like California.